How you all doing, me muckers? I hope you're all right. I am the Peaky Biker, and welcome to the usual slot of mine, which is the midweek mumble. So, there's a few little things that I'm going to quickly run through for you guys that have never seen the midweek mumble. So, this is an over 18 channel, so there is going to be swearing and there is going to be curse words. So, if you're under the age of 18, you need to click on. Secondly, if you are watching the television with somebody who doesn't like swearing, put some headphones on, because again, there might be some swearing involved. So put some headphones on and you'll be sound. Thirdly, if you hear somebody snoring, it's none of the cast downstairs. What it is my fat bulldog. So let's get people introduced. So we've got Stevie, Exeter Rider.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for letting me on, Peaky.
No problem, no problem. We've got Graham, Agis Whisperer. I can spit it out, thank you. I got my teeth in. We've got Dave. Is it Wonder Woman? Which one is it? Is it Beyonce or Wonder Woman?
No. I think it'll be. Do you know what? I got told off the last time I was on, so I'm on best behavior tonight.
We'll sort that out.
If you want best behavior, I'm going to kick you off.
That's the real me tonight.
We've also got Jay, Crazy Legs on a Bike.
How you doing, guys? You okay?
All good.
You're right.
Same, mate. Same, you.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you.
And we got the BMW fanboy, Bruce.
Hey, folks. How are we all doing?
Bruce.
Evening, gents. How are you doing?
How you doing? You okay?
All good.
Yeah,
all good. Have you had a good weekend? Anybody been up to anything? Have you been out on your bike? Start off with you, Stevie. Have you been out on your bike this weekend or not?
No, I've been renovating the house, mate. Really, really boring. Shifting 800 bricks and building a brick wall. That's how exciting my life is.
Take no weight off you, has it? I'm only joking. It started already.
Yeah.
So, Graham, you went out, the weekend?
I actually got out on the bike, for a change.
Yeah.
Testing my new setup, my new Zoom F2, which wasn't that great, but I think that's a microphone. I'll need to change that to the Purple Panda. I think the mic that comes with it's too sensitive, so...
Yeah. How about you, Dave? Did you get out the weekend? Sorry, mate. Go on.
Who?
Dave, did you get out the weekend?
Oh, sorry, lads. The bloody Wi-Fi here again, and it's raining outside. So it's one of those Wi-Fi's. Sort of live in the middle of nowhere here. But if
you still on dial-up, Dave?
Yeah.
No. We still,
I thought that's what I could hear.
Worse than that, mate. We still send postcards where I live. So So sorry about that. There might be a bit of a delay. It's not the delay in my head. It's just the bad Wi-Fi. Yes, I was out at the weekend. I had a great day. I'll not talk about this too much, but I'm doing Route 66 in September, and I launched my fundraiser just over the weekend on Monday as well. So I rode to a primary school. All the kids and the teacher donated £1,000 to the campaign, and we had a photo call there, and the local press came out and all that sort of stuff. So it was just brilliant. Brilliant.
Excellent.
It was a great thing to do. When the school said, we want to give you £1,000 because I'm doing it for a charity, I'm doing it for a children's charity. There's 70 riders doing it, all from Ireland in September, and they do it every other year. And when the school heard about this and wanted to give £1,000, I thought, well, do you know what I'll do? I'll rally a load of mates on bikes as well. So there was 20 of us rode bikes into the schoolyard, and the kids were all sitting on the bikes and everything. And then they did the check presentation for £1,000. Just magical.
That's lovely.
So I think
generosity is magic.
I think I seen the photo of that on
I stuck up a few photographs. I'm putting a video out this weekend and all that sort of crack, But that was a lovely thing to do. So.
Nice. Jay, have you been out the weekend?
And since then, it's rained ever since.
Sunny Island. No, do you know what? I was supposed to be meeting some biking friends down the Midlands, but they didn't turn up because it was raining. So
lightweight.
Definitely.
No, that's why.
No, I still went out. I had a bit of a ride. Recorded a video, and I had a good time.
So apart from editing, Bruce, what have you been up to, mate?
It's pretty much life, really. Oh God! I had to take the new 1300, the GS, into the dealership on Monday because I'm having starter issues, and I've had them since I got it. It's like 50-50 whether or not it starts on the first push of the ignition. Initially, I thought it was the battery, but it doesn't seem to be. So it's at the dealership at the moment. There's a couple of recalls that are due on it anyway, starter relay, foot pegs, that sort of stuff. So it's having all that done, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with the ignition at the moment. So they've given me an.
Sorry, Bruce. I was just going to say, when you've got a keyless bike, you are supposed to actually carry the key.
yeah, that's right. They've given me the M1000RR as a courtesy bike. So I've got one ride on it home. What a weapon. Jesus Christ, what a bike. But yeah, I've not had a chance to probably it's a good job actually. I've not had a chance to take that out since I got it back home. Because I just edited.
Not going to chop it in, are you, for the 1000?
No.
Like that bike.
I do love the 1000, but the Jigsaw 1000 it's all done now. My son's actually just been working on that vid for me, so that should hopefully go out next week, which is like the last of the build series almost. So I just need to get that insured now, MOT'd, and then she's back on the road. So I'll have my 1000cc sports bike back. Can't wait to get riding on her.
Yes.
But that's pretty much all I've been doing all week. Is I did a podcast Monday night with Fish, Mr. Fish. I've got one tomorrow with a chap called Chris Donaldson, who's like an overland legend. So yeah, I'm just sort of editing and doing podcasts, trying to build up, because I'm away to the States as well, Dave, in like 2 weeks.
I was going to say you're away soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Listening between the podcast and everything else.
So yeah, I'm just trying to build up a bit of a backlog of content. Sorry, Dave, what was that?
Are you doing Route 66?
No. I have a mate of mine, Aled, who he's been on the podcast. He lives in Indiana. So he'd been saying to me, look, come over and we'll go and do one of the big bike festivals. So ultimately, I'd love to go Sturgis, but that's later in the year, and I'm all booked up with my tours. So they've got Daytona Beach on at the beginning of March. So I thought, right, I'll come over for that, and whack it on the old credit card, just go over and go for it. He's going to lend me a bike, and I'm just, he's picking me up from Cincinnati Airport, take me to his place in Indiana. He's going to give me one of his bikes. He works for Triumph America, and then I'll literally just hit the road. And the plan was to sort of work my way down to Daytona Beach, do the last weekend of the Daytona Bike Week, and then ride back. But when I'm trying to plot the route, there's so many good roads up near him. Like Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. The Blue Ridge Mountains, Appalachian Mountains, all up around there. It's just. Not just Tail of the Dragon. I've done that one before, but there's so many off of that. I'm kind of beginning to think to myself, I might just sack Daytona off and just play in the mountains for the sort of 8-9 days that I'm there, if the weather plays ball, because it just snowed the other day. So if the weather plays ball,
you're going to have a wicked time over there, aren't you? It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait. Yeah, just to get on the road myself and meet up with people on the socials and just have some fun.
Ray's Moto Life, me and him, we started doing our channels roughly the same. He's going to Daytona.
Is he?
That week as well. He's going. So, Ray, if you see Brucey boy, shake his hand and say hello.
Definitely come up.
What I'm going to say is Bruce remembers everybody. Everybody. It don't matter. You can say. I messaged Bruce after about 5 years of not seeing him, and I was like, "Do you remember this photo, mate? I'm just looking at GoPros when I first started my channel. I'm just looking at GoPros." And he was like, "Yes, mate, I remember you. What are you doing? How are you doing? How's this? What's this?"
How can I not remember you? Jeez. we had many a fun weekend at the old race weekends.
Oh yeah, I was only talking to Wedgie today about it because I said, because he said he goes, I'm going to jump on and watch it, and I was like, yeah, man. I says we had some. It wasn't just the race weekends; it was the evenings when we all sat around, you're getting absolutely good up, like, and then you're thinking, I've got to race my bike in the morning. I've got to race my bike in the morning. But yeah.
What bike are you going to be riding when you're over there, Bruce?
I think it is a Triumph. I think it's an 800 he's got. It's either 8 or the 900. It's one of the Tigers anyway. Yeah.
Oh, lovely, fantastic. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
So, has anybody booked? I'm going to ask because I know there's a couple of us already booked them. So, has anybody booked the ABR for this year already?
Well,
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No way I'm missing that
I wouldn't miss it. I thought it was my first time there last year. I just thought it was a superbly run event. And it was just great to see everybody, you know, the likes of ourselves, to meet the likes of ourselves in real life, so to speak. I just thought it was great crack. The weather played ball, of course, so that's very important. But, you know, that's the first time I've camped since I camped with my wife in a tent. And that night, when I camped with my wife in a tent, we made our first son. So, so when I went back to the ABR festival, you know, I was just wondering what the hell was going to happen in my tent. Thankfully, no shenanigans in my tent that time. But...
So you are chucking yourself around in your tent on your own then?
That's right. Yeah.
Transparent tent.
Yeah. Yeah. What's Dave doing in his tent? Dave, turn your light off.
That's a voice of experience there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying my wife refuses to go camping again after that. That was 21 years ago.
Yeah. So... You got the bloke next to you. Lie on your side, you can't see nothing.
Dave could lie on his back, he still wouldn't see anything.
What are you scratching any for? Yeah.
One of my lasting memories of the ABR festival last year, there was a few of us sort of all camping in the one line. Andy was there, TMF, and Richie was there, Dickie Vegas, as you referred to him kindly, Bruce. But he was there. He had this tent on top of his four-wheel drive thing.
That's right. That's right.
He had like a roof tent, and it had a little ladder up to it. And there was one night at about 2:00 in the morning, there was a few of us just stood around chatting, and Richie Vida, I'm talking about, of course. Richie came back to his roof tent, and to watch them try and climb up them ladders into it, it was absolutely priceless. It was priceless. He still refuses that happened, but I was there. I witnessed it. It was bloody hilarious.
It's quite funny as well. I think, like, especially, you know, you get there, and I was quite fortunate because I met Mark from Leeds there, because before I went, I had a bit of a panic attack. So I rang Mark and I was like, mate, I'm outside. I'm struggling to get in. So he was like, yeah, I'll come and meet you. So we got outside, and he was like, right, we've got a pitch here for you, ready for you. And I was like, oh, fucking superb, mate. So set my tent up and everything. And then it's just funny because, like, we seen Dave stood there, and I'm like, me and Simon, and I'm good to Simon, like two school kids. He's like, Dave from really good TV. He's like, Dave and he's giving, it looks like him. I says, come on, we'll go over and just ask him. And then obviously you just get talking. But it's just strange that when I met again at Stevie Extra Rider, we was the same. We kind of prearranged it, but it was like, yeah, sound. And then, you know, you get people coming across with Bruce, and it's like the In Betweeners film, you know, on the dance floor, coming across to it. No, it's just like, and honestly, at some point, at some stage, I was laughing, but at some stages, you know, and genuinely, I felt sorry for you at some stages, because you just got kind of fucking swamped, and you know, and you're just like, wow, man, there's like people just.
I love all that. I love just chatting with people. It's brilliant. It's like sometimes after events, I don't know, you boys get it. Like people message you and go, "Oh, I saw you at such and such, but I didn't come up and say hello. Like, you know, I didn't want to be annoyed.
I've had that.
Like that. But I'm like, no, just come up, just come up, and you get people standing like waiting for. If I'm chatting away to somebody, they sort of stand in the background waiting for their turn almost, and I'm like, you know, just butt in, just join in, because otherwise you'll be here. The people will stand and chat for hours. So.
Yeah, it just made me laugh, like the way I don't know, like the way people are coming up, you can just like see them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that proper awkwardness, but at the same time, it's quite funny to watch, because once you've had a few beers, you're just sitting back then. Look at him. Look at these. So, but yeah, but it was good. It was good. But
I think many other festivals can learn from the ABR festival, how they run it, how the actual bars are run. Everything about it is pretty much perfect, really, isn't it?
I think they had a couple of ropey years to begin with. First year or two was a little bit sort of iffy, but I mean, you expect that when you start a new event. And they listened to Alan and the team. They really listened to the feedback from people, and they've smashed it out of the park, haven't they? It's a cracking event, really good event.
Yeah. Apart from running out to Guinness on the Saturday, I was absolutely gutted.
I can't go this year, sadly. I'm going to have to miss it, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's why I'm growing my beard and putting a bit of weight on. I'm going to go around there.
Good lad. Well, be on your best behaviour.
I always am, Bruce. I always am. Have you not heard about me? I'm on best behaviour all the time.
You'd not see me staying up till all hours of the night trying to steal certain things from the stage.
You might need to get some heels.
Bruce, on one of the night, I think it was the Saturday night. And we've been rolling back to our tents, and I opened my tent up, and I got like a crate of beer, and the next thing I know, like everyone's walking past. Can I have a beer? And next thing you know, I've got about 30 blokes sat outside my tent drinking all my ale. I was like, where's the hold on a minute, let's go get your ale and come back. There's Bruce just sat on the floor in his shorts. But the only thing I think what makes the ABR is how clean the toilets are and the showers, and they're like spotlessly clean all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's a big. I think that's a big thing for them is the cleanliness and the hygiene. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. Really am.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah.
Sound.
It was funny when I was stood with the lads Andy and Richie, because after being there like for a day or two, you can sort of tell what type of people are more interested in different YouTubers. All right. So I attracted a lot of the techie type of people who wanted to ask, I suppose, about cameras and all that sort of stuff, and that's grand. But Andy attracted a lot of the people who wanted to know all about motorbikes, and Richie got all of the women.
just the one, the woman, just the one.
Yeah. Well,
it's about usual, to be honest.
Any woman there just wanted to speak to Rich, like.
Yeah. But I think that's it. That what I found really nice there is it's not like everyone's clustered together in certain areas. There's that much to see and to do.
Spread out.
Yeah. Like on the Saturday when when you're listening to people's talks and stuff like that. I was really kind of bothered, if I'm being honest. I was like, it don't really bother me listening to people when they're talking about this, talking about that. But then when you stand there and you actually get engaged and you start. It's quite engaging to listen to, and it's quite interesting as well. Do you know what I mean? I just thought
the highlight for me was the pub quiz that you boys did. That was brilliant fun. I loved that. It was great fun. So,
I think and
you know what? Every morning, I was really proud of myself. Every morning I got up and did the yoga at 7:30.
Oh yeah,
from 7:30 until 8. And that was me. I was set for the day. I've never done yoga in my life, but
I didn't know they'd done that up there.
I think I was just going to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
Dave's claiming getting out of his tent is yoga. Yeah, I've been doing the yoga since 7:30.
Yeah. And then after the yoga, I was first in the queue for the breakfasts. You see, so
you see.
You see, method and madness and all that.
Yeah. Down there for dancing.
Yeah.
Can
so
I
you done the yoga, Dave?
Say that again.
Sorry to interrupt. I saw Ray's Moto Life had posted something up asking about coming to Daytona. That was me. Ray, thank you very much. I've seen that you've subscribed to the channel as well. Top man, thank you very much. If I'm going to be in Daytona, it'd be awesome to meet up.
Yeah, he does live streams on a Monday. He's from America, but he does live stream from a Monday. So, like I say, me and him started our lives and our channels roughly at the same time. So we kind of ferrying backwards and forwards to each other. Right, I've done this on my life. Try doing this. You know what I mean? So when we've struggled, we've kind of helped each other out. But
Gotcha.
but
Nice.
yeah, he's a nice lad, like nice bloke. Got a lot of time for him. But yeah. So Bruce, elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
Why did you buy a bike that you'd never test rode?
What, the 1300? It was a bit of a, obviously it's a gamble. It's a brand new bike, total new bike. You know, it's not just an update; it's a completely new bike.
No. Yeah,
That's always a gamble. But I kind of took the view that I'm onto a win-win anyway, really. And that perversely, if it was a bag of shite, then it's not going to harm the channel, is it? Because it's going to be content, and to be honest, there's a lot of haters out there who would love it to be a bag of poo, so they would love that. And I'm also in a very fortuitous position that I do have a bit of weight behind me, so if there are issues with the bike, as in what I'm going through at the moment, I've got the weight behind me to put a little bit of pressure on there and try and get something done by it. So it's a win-win for me, really. Why not?
Yeah.
As it is, okay, I'm having a few issues, but it's a fucking amazing bike. I love it to bits. So, no complaints from me.
Do you not look like a fucking kid riding a BMX on it? Because when I looked at them, they look really fucking small compared to the old GSs. Like.
Yeah, everyone says that, but honestly, the second I threw my leg over that bike, it doesn't feel any different to the 1250 physically to be. Now, I know other people have said it did when they got on it. I can only think you've got lower suspension, you've got a lower seat, but that bike, the way I have it set, I've got on the firmest suspension going, I've got the normal seat height, and it feels exactly like my 1250 did. To sit on it, to ride it, it's different, but to sit on it just feels the same.
Yeah, like I say, when I read it, I was quite fortunate. Sorry, Dave, I was quite fortunate. I went to BMW Wolverhampton, where I'm in a fortunate position because I had all 4 bikes to myself for a week for an afternoon. So I test rode all 4 bikes, and to me, I jumped probably a bit like you with the new 1300. I jumped on mine and I was like, this for me, this feels better than the 1300 did to me.
Okay.
But like I say, it was, I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't float my boat at all. And I was in the process, literally, of I'd gone there with my bike on the option to chuck mine in and come away with one. But
what are the bits I don't like about the 1300, but I still think it's a better bike, definitely.
I was just going to say, sorry, Bruce. I was just going to ask Bruce, what's the obvious difference?
Oh, that's the end of that then.
That wasn't me.
To be fair, you was boring me. So I'm only joking. You just clicked off. Your internet went. I'm only joking. Go on.
Yeah.
What's the obvious?
The obvious differences between the 1250 and the 1300 that stood out for you.
The immediate first difference is power. Now, I had a mate of mine, Martin, half man, half pirate. He did the pasty run with me the other week. There, we did a run down to Penzance, and he was on his 1250 GSA, and I was on obviously 1300, and we did a bit of a jump around. I wanted him to try it, and he didn't really think there was that much difference at all. But for me, like I've got a vid coming out soon. I went down to Toro in Spain, and we rode the 1250, 1300 back to back for a couple of days. Went off roading on it, beautiful mountain roads, really spanked it in good dry roads. Both of us, the second you touch the throttle, the 1300 feels different. It's got immediate pull. There's no lull at all on it. It's much more of a linear pull all the way through. In dynamic mode, yeah, the difference between dynamic and road is huge, massive. Like on the old 1200s and 1250s, there's not really that much difference between road and dynamic, but it's night and day on the 1300. And you can, if you have the Pro, which I'd imagine most people would get, you can really tailor it. So, you can have maximum throttle delivery with it. You can tweak about with everything on the settings. So the difference between the two modes for me is huge. But literally just getting on the bike, letting the clutch out, and just applying the throttle. So I'm talking 2,000 revs. from 2 to 3, just that initial pull away, I can feel a difference. It just feels, I don't know, it just feels
more grunty,
punchier. Just punchier straight away, even at like 20, 30 mile an hour, which sounds stupid, but both of us, me and Lyndon, we both said exactly the same. It's like you notice it the second you let the clutch out.
So
and
a
then
bit like a case,
everywhere.
So a bit like a KTM then now.
It don't break
it's well, don't say that. Don't say that. It's more engaging, like the KTM. It's still no KTM. You know, it definitely hasn't got the hooligan element that this KTM has. You know, the super adventure, but it's a different kettle of fish to the 1250. You know, it's like the KTM in a suit that's, you know, grown up a little bit. It's like that. You know, it'll still play, and you're not gonna lose a GS the way the KTM won't lose the 1250 the way it did before. You can always keep the KTM in sight on the 1250, but you're never gonna be snapping at its heels. With the 1300, I think you're gonna give that a run for its money. But obviously KTM will move to the 1390 soon, so they'll be.
Is there anything that was on the 1250 that you miss on the 1300?
Yeah, the tank. The sculpted tank on the 1250, you know, it's kind of wedged at the sides, isn't it? It's got a real distinct, nice, beautiful place where you can fit your legs, especially if you're standing up.
Clamp it.
Says me, the off-road king. But when you go off-road and you're stood up, the 1250 tank and the 1200 tank, it's really nice and sculpted. And I found I could really grip that with like my knees and my inner thighs. On the 1300s, they've really...
Say that again, Bruce. Say that again.
Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah.
They've really smoothed it out, so it's not got those angular lines anymore. And so standing up off-road, the 1250 wins for me in terms of comfort. But everything else, the 1300 wins.
And you mentioned the foot pegs as well. A recall on that. What's wrong with the foot pegs?
Something to do with a retaining clip, I think. BMW are really good for this.
That's all BMWs have been recalled.
Yeah, is all right. Yeah,
all BMWs have been recalled for that.
Mm-hmm. BMW are really good for this. Like they can have literally 1 or 2 instances, and they will do a full recall, like a full global recall. There's a lot of manufacturers out there who will put their head in the sands and try and ignore it. BMW seem to, they just, forget the expense. Let's do a recall. Mm-hmm. So I've got no issues with that. None.
Here's a question for you.
Ask me to take my BMW t-shirt off.
Question for you, Bruce.
Were you inside or outside the camp when it comes to the new headlight? What do you think of it?
I'm in.
At the launch, I hated it. At the launch, I was like, well, not even at the launch. When the sneaky pictures came out, I was like, oh, geez, no, what are they doing here? I was like that about the whole design, to be honest. I just didn't like the spy shots of it. Seeing it in the flesh, which was literally when they took the cover off in the showroom when I picked it up, 100%, 180-degree turnaround for me. I love it. I really like it. It's really unique. There's nothing else like it out there. So
the 900 comes out on Saturday as well, doesn't it now?
Yeah. I saw that on Monday up at the showroom. Yes, I think that's going to be a big seller. You know, it looks like a GSA. You know, it looks like a big adventure. You wouldn't think that's a 900. You know, unless obviously you see the chain and all that sort of stuff. But it's a big bike. I think it'll do well.
Yeah. So.
I rode one, Bruce, last month. Like I was really disappointed, like you, when I saw the spy shots and everything and the live launch and everything. Just wasn't what I was expecting, and I think it caught a lot of people out. And I'd been on a waiting list for like a year and a half with the local BMW dealer here in Dublin to get one. And then when I saw the live launch, I thought that's not for me at all. I mean, I'm sure we're all the same. I choose a bike on looks, number one. And then after that, then everything else falls into place after that, but always looks. And I didn't like it at all, the look of it. But to get it out in my system, I went and rode one last month and I came back and basically tried to buy. I was knocked out with it. I tried to buy one. But over here in Ireland, the triple black, which you have, like not even the green one, which is even more money, but the triple black, fully spec'd, but with no luggage, is €30,000 here in
Jesus.
Ireland. Yeah, it's government tax. Cars are the same over here. It's absolutely scandalous. And so I thought, well, do you know what? It'll be a bike for 5 years. So I was still humming and hawing, and I still went. I was so impressed with the ride of it. I still went for it. And then BMW said, by the way, we do a PCP. A PCP plan over in Ireland never really existed, and it still doesn't with a lot of dealers. But when they said that, I thought, all right, that's it. I'm definitely having one. So I said, what will you give me for a trade-in on my bike? Get this. This is unbelievable. Like, now, bearing in mind, 2 weeks prior to me test riding this bike, the suspension went in my 1200 GS, front and rear. I only put it in for a service. I put it in for a service, and I was aware of a knocking underneath the bike, and I thought it was the center stand, the spring in the center stand. Nothing to worry about. I think they were my words verbatim. Have a look at that to see where the knocking's coming from. Got a phone call half an hour later. Your front and rear suspension's gone. Unbelievable. So to replace the suspension, not fix it, because BMW dealers haven't got the time to fix it. So it's a full replacement. They wanted €4,300 for front and rear suspension. So obviously I told them where to go, and I got it done by a company in England for the equivalent of €1,200, and shipped back to Ireland within that price as well. And my local my local motorbike shop, CC's, they stripped the bike from the suspension, put all the suspension back on, and I was out of it for €1,200. Like, that's a third of the price. So 2 weeks later, I go back to the bloody BMW dealer. And then the bike was amazing, but €30,000. So, that's where I was. We were talking about the PCP. So they were going to, I know I can sell my 1200 tomorrow in Ireland for €14,000. Actually, the market value of them have gone up quite a bit since the 1,300 came out. Because a lot of people just won't pay that for a motorbike, you know. So knowing that it was roughly worth around 14 grand, my 1200, they offered me 8,000 as a trade-in against a 30 grand bike. And then when we did all the figures on the PCP, there was going to be another €4,000 of interest on a 4-year plan. So I was going to get 8,000 for my bike and pay 34,000 for a bike that I didn't really like the look of. It just rode brilliantly. Yeah. So I noticed in the comments, somebody who follows me called Dale Wintle. Hi, Dale. Good to see that you're listening to this, top man. He has just asked the question, am I keeping the 1200? And the answer to that is yes, I am. Because I don't think the 1250 is a big enough of a jump, which again, you know what it's like when you want something new and you're reasoning with yourself and arguing with yourself, and you come up with all these crazy possibilities. So at the moment, I'm keeping the 1200. I love the 1200. Now, I have to say, sorry to go off and throw a curveball in here, that new Africa Twin. Oh, Jesus, with the 19-inch front wheel. Now, when that comes out, I love the look of it. And again, that's one of these bikes I just love the look of, you know. So I wouldn't mind trying that. So if I was going to trade in the 1200 for anything, at the moment, it would be the Africa Twin. And they are, the price of them, all fully spec, the DCT model, when they hit Ireland in April, they're going to be €22,000, fully loaded. Which is
that's with the suspension as well, isn't it? 22, the electronic suspension. Yeah. But if you don't have that, then I think it's about 17. I think. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you know, I've got the 1250, but obviously because I'm a short arse, I've got the lower chassis one. But when me and Jay went out the other week, because Jack, you've got the 1290 Adventure, ain't you?
Yeah, the KTM.
Yeah. So when you know, and it was one of them where I've never actually seen one in the flesh. So when I actually finally got round to having a look at it, I really like the 1290, if I'm being honest. And it's just one of them. It's a little bit different. Bike. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It don't look the same as most bikes. You know, I mean, like when we used to do track days, I had the RC8. Back when I did the track days, I raced the Triumph 675, but I had an RC8. and it was just one of them bikes that they just look so much different compared to anything else on the market. And that's what you want in it. You want to rock up to a bike show or a bike meet, and you want people to look around your bike because you don't want to be the same as everybody else. And 9 times out of 10, that's what you do when you buy a bike, when you buy a BM, because they all look exactly the same. Because there's that many out there.
Everyone's got a GS, haven't they? Yeah, it's true. It's true. I totally agree. I've never hidden it. I think the Super Adventure is the better bike. It's the better riding bike, definitely. It's more engaging. It's more fun. It got more poke. Yeah.
If you know how to ride it, not like me.
It's just a fucking hooligan, isn't it? It's a typical KTM. It's brilliant. But I every bike I've had from KTM UK, I've had electrical issues, and they've not stopped me riding. But if I owned the bike, I'd need to get that sorted, and that would just hack me off. So that's why I never pulled the pin and actually bought one. And I'm glad I didn't actually, because for me the 1300 at the moment, providing there's nothing catastrophic that happens in the next couple of years, at the moment it's my bike. You know,
see, I had the 1200 GSA, and that's one of the best bikes I've ever ridden, and I think I'll take that to the grave with me as well, because those bikes ride so well. The weight's really well proportioned on the GSs.
Yeah.
And like you say, when I went to the 1290, it is a completely different beast. But the GS, for me, when I got on that, I was really surprised about it. There was other reasons why I got rid of it. I was having issues with it, and I'm not going into that too much. But it was one of the best bikes I've ever ridden. And I've had a lot of bikes. I've had a hell of a lot of bikes. So.
That's the problem with BMW, is that everything's so expensive, whether it's servicing or parts or things like that. As soon as something goes wrong, you kind of, if it's not in warranty, it's a big worry, isn't it?
If it's not in warranty, BMW is going to pull your trousers down and not use lube for sure. But in terms of, like, for me, if you're in my situation, I can't afford to buy a bike outright. So I buy all my bikes on PCP and I ride them for 2 or 3 years. I chuck them in and I get another new one, and I can get, that allows me to ride bikes that I couldn't afford otherwise. So, like, in terms of the jump from the 1250 to the 1300 for me, I was paying, I have to pay top whack because I do the maximum mileage they'll allow you. And generally my bikes are pretty shagged by the time they go back, in terms of, like, I wash them a couple of times a year. So they do get hammered. So I'm paying £325 a month. I was paying for the 1250. Well, I'm paying 345, I think it is, or 350 for the 1300. So it's like an extra 30 quid, and I've got, for me, a totally different bike. But what I was going to say something to what you were saying there, Steve. Oh yeah, servicing. Genuinely, for me, the servicing of the GS. Bearing in mind, I've had GSs since 2016 now. I've had like 3 or 4 of them. The servicing of the GS has been the cheapest servicing I've ever had in a bike. Because my Gixxer beforehand, 10 years ago, valve clearances on a Gixxer, which need doing every 12 or 16,000 miles, and they do need doing, was costing me 700 to 800 quid 10 years ago. A valve clearance on the GS costs me between 350 and 450, depending on where I go, and they never need doing. So, like, and unless I need parts, if you need parts, you're going to pay for them. But if it's just normal stuff and it's covered by warranty, the GS is the cheapest one for me.
I've always found with it, if I've had a problem with mine, I've just took it in and they've sorted it. Yeah. There's not been no quibble. No, oh, well, have you been doing this? Like, I had, after the ABR festival, one of the BMW badges come off. And I read it in a couple of days later, and I was just like, oh, I've been to the ABR festival, that's come off. And the lad behind the desk was like, oh, yeah, mate, 12 quid. I went, mate, I've been to an ABR
festival. With the wrong dealer.
Yeah, I had gone around the country, do you know what I mean? And then Drew come out, and Drew was just like, just give him one. He's all right, just give him one. He's saying.
Somebody's got that BMW on thing on the wall. Ripped it off your bike.
I would say, I've had a few people. So go on. I've had a few people contact me saying, sorry, there's a delay. Who's talking?
Go on, Bruce.
You go for it.
Right. Okay. I've had a few people message me saying that they weren't happy with the service they got from a BMW dealership, and I just say to people, vote with your feet, go elsewhere. I've got a BMW dealership down the road, but I don't use them because I don't particularly like the customer service, to be honest. So I travel, 60, 80 mile each way to go to the dealer that I use because I get good service there. So I'll just go there instead.
Yeah.
And you get great when you find a decent one. And I don't think it's not just BMW. It's any bike garage. If you get good service, shout about it, tell people about it, fly the flag for them, because it's a great thing when you get good customer service. So do your bit, and they'll look after you.
Yeah. Bruce, I've got to ask you about your ceramic coating, mate. That was a hell of a job you had done. Can you tell me, because all I've done, like I use the Auto Bright Direct products, and I do my own ceramic coating, and it's absolutely amazing. But I'm just wondering, if I paid the money and got a professional job done, is there any advantage to that? Does it protect the paint as well as making it look shiny? I know you're not a fan of washing your bikes, Bruce, but I'm the other way around. Like I wash my bikes like literally after every ride, But I'm just wondering, is it worth spending the money, or am I as good just using the stuff that I'm already using?
I think if you're particular with the cleaning of your bike, and you're meticulously cleaning your bike all the time, and and you're treating it and doing that, you maybe won't get the full benefit that from the Super Shield ceramic coating. But it doesn't, just because you get your bike ceramic coated doesn't mean to say you can just leave it, which is what I kind of thought. I thought, I could ride it all winter, wash it again March, April time, do it again in August time, another time in November, and that'll be me. I'll have a brand new bike. It doesn't work that way. It gives you a matter of days extra, to get in there and remove the dirt and the grime and the salt off of the bike, because eventually it will eat into the ceramics. It will get to your paintwork. It will get to your nuts and your bolts if you just leave it on there. So that was a learning curve for me, because I didn't do that with my last two. I just sort of left the bikes. This one, I'm trying to keep on top with it. And if you do keep on top of it, I mean, it is a much easier process to wash your bike, and it comes out absolutely gleaming. You'll know if you ceramic coat your bike now anyway. If you keep on top of the cleaning, the bike just looks amazing all the time. Pete is particularly, there's no other word to use, anal. He is really anal about how he cleans a bike. He'll be with you 12 to 14 hours to do your bike, and a good 9 of that is cleaning. I mean, he literally takes the thing apart and cleans it. So he's meticulous. The reason being is that once that coating goes on, that's it. The bike's effectively cased in glass now, almost. So any dirt and corrosion that's there before he applies this coating, it's sealed in. So he tries to get the bike literally, better than showroom, and then he coats it. But you do have to keep on top of your cleaning.
You say that'd be no good for me. I'm the same as you, Bruce, mate. I washed mine probably one. I think, this year I washed it twice this year.
Yeah.
And that's it. I watched it when I got back from the ABR festival. That's it. I can't be fucking bothered and can't be arsed. Once I've finished my ride, I can't be arsed standing outside just pressure washing it. I think that's fucking boring as fuck, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Other people like to stand there with a fucking brush and
look at that.
The good thing when they're ceramic coated, the good thing with ceramic coating, any of the ceramic coatings, once the bike's done, at the end of your ride, you literally just need to hose it down. You don't even need to power hose it, just a garden hose, and that'll get the majority of the muck off. It won't get everything, but it'll get the majority of the muck off. So it keeps that side of things much, much, much easier. And if you keep on top of the cleaning, every week, every month, however often you use your bike, just give it a bit of a wash. You don't need to spend hours, just a bit of a wash, and the bike will reap the rewards.
Would the ceramic coating be better than...
How much is it, if you don't mind me asking, how much is it to get the bike? I know your video must have said it. It's not cheap, is it?
I'll be 2 secs, Dave. Yeah, the ACF 50. I spoke to Pete about that. I think it's covered in the vid. But Pete was saying with ACF 50, basically all the shite off the road will stick to the ACF 50.
Yeah.
And that is true, because I used the ACF 50 my bike all the time. And the problem then comes if you then hose your bike down and give your bike a bit of a once over with a cloth. Any ACF 50 that's on the bike and gets picked up by that cloth, well, it's just going to act like sandpaper then, with the grit and all the guff and it'll just you'll end up scratching the paint. ACF 50 is good stuff, don't get me wrong. I still, if I put a bolt, I've just put a luggage rack onto the 1300, and I soaked all the bolts in ACF 50 before I put them in. So it does the job. It is good kit. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
sorry, Dave, you said something there.
Go on, Dave, say it again.
He's gone.
Lost
I bet Graham was saying something as well, wasn't he?
No, Empress answered that. It was the ACF 50.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Dave looks a bit confused. You all right, Dave?
Can you hear us?
My Wi-Fi's playing up here, boys. I'm literally, I can't. I can't even hear what you're saying there. Really,
we were talking about Wonder Woman.
We just saying we are.
I'm back again now.
We're hoping you might scratch yourself with that wanky sock you was on about.
Sorry, I heard the tail end of that ACF 50 cut. Can you still hear me there? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's just my end. I do, because I keep losing all the pictures of you guys on my screen. So it's obviously just my end. It's not anything else. Sorry about that. Anyway, Graham, what are you riding now? What bike are you riding?
An 850 GSA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that. It looks well.
Graham's got the colour that I wanted. He calls it bronze, but it's green.
It's bronze.
It's fucking green.
Oh, that's rust.
Conversation.
Rust.
But that's the colour I wanted. I wanted like that. It is bronze, but it's like an army green, and that's the
called Kalamata bronze.
Yeah, but that's the colour that I wanted basically, and it's absolutely stunning. I love that colour. It was just.
I can't say anything. Mine's bright orange like the RAC vans.
You keep seeing them as well, don't you? I was just joking.
Well, actually, it's quite funny because when me and Peaky went to the Lake District, we kept seeing AA vans
following me around.
It was like they were following me around, the support vehicle.
It was class. It was class. That was. It was. We had a good laugh there. We had a good laugh. We went up there.
Yeah, we did.
We got up there. So I booked this room in this little boozer, Bruce, and so we're getting this boozer, and we was like having a couple of beers, and the gaffers come over to us and went, lads, just to let you know, we've got a stag do coming in. So I'm thinking, fucking hell.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Anything like more stag do's, mate. You know what I mean? When we do it with the army lads, it's pretty rough. Do you know what I mean? So these lads come in, couldn't hear nothing, could we? It was like, man, like 20 lads sat there. There's all just like that. And this pub was in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
Middle of nowhere. So it was just
wow.
What's going on? Man, what's even well strange. And then like 10:30 come, and I went down to go and get a couple of beers because I'd run out. So I went down, and it was all shut, all locked up. I was just like,
yeah.
You don't shut the bar at 10:30 on a fucking Saturday night. Jesus Christ.
I were a bit disappointed because you didn't get me my Coke I wanted. And my pork scratchings.
Yeah, it's pork scratchings. But it was just that strange. Just a real kind of weird
I don't know about
place.
you guys, though, but certainly down in Devon, the pubs are closing a lot earlier since COVID and all that. It seems to be like they close sort of 10:30. It's the last orders. You're flipping it.
Because you just started. You Southerners don't fucking drink properly, that's why.
Well, yeah.
I've got to admit, I don't like going to the boozer anymore. Like, on a special event, yeah, but I've got no inclination just to pop down the pub for a pint anymore.
No, I know what you mean.
It's too bloody noisy. I'd much rather
you grow out of it, don't you?
Yeah, I'd much rather be at home or just be somewhere like an event somewhere, and like that sort of thing.
I think it is different. I do think COVID is.
Me.
Go on, Dave.
A very funny thing happened to me last night, lads, and I don't mind divulging it here. I went up to Belfast for a Christmas party with a couple of mates who I work with now and again. And this was the third time we tried to make it happen because it kept getting cancelled. And so I went to Belfast last night, and we had a brilliant night. Went out for a curry, a good few pints, a great laugh, and then we ended up in a nightclub. And at 3:30 this morning, myself and my other mates, the three of us, got thrown too old. The bouncer came and told us. The bouncer came and told us
we got thrown out for being too old.
So threw us out at 3:30 this morning. I haven't been in a nightclub in 20 bloody years, and I don't think I'll ever step foot back in one after being told I was too old.
Yeah, I'm at the stage now when you turn up at the door and the bouncer just sort of looks at you and just and you come, because he just looks at you and goes, "You're no threat," and you come. Like you're just the old boy now. So, all right, okay.
I think me and you are about the same age, ain't we, Bruce?
47 I am, yeah.
Yeah, same here. So,
same here.
We've lost Dave. You are 47, fucking Steve.
Oh, no. You start that.
Jesus Christ.
I used to watch Whack-A-Day, same as you did.
Where was your paper round? Uphill in fucking Beirut. Jesus Christ.
I'm not saying anything.
What age are you, Jay?
Me?
31.
Really?
No, I'm 51. 51.
So I'm the oldest in here.
What are you?
54.
How are you?
54. Jesus, are you?
Aye.
Okay, I wouldn't have put you at that. Wow.
What do you think? 60?
Yeah.
You would if you got close to the screen.
Guess why I'm standing so far back from that?
It's not 4K, is it? Right, aye, right in the back.
Is that his missus put his wall paint on for fucking 2 hours?
Yeah, they aren't pixels on. They aren't pixels. Bad lighting. No, you look well on it. You do look well.
Fair play. It was that coming around the UK with me that did it. Spruced you back up back then.
That's that. That's what done it.
Yeah. So whilst I've got you on, Bruce, I did watch that. Obviously, I do watch a lot of your podcasts. I watch.
You're the one. Cheers.
All your podcasts. In fact, I actually, if I'm going to be honest now, I actually prefer the podcasts rather than the videos. Don't ask me why.
All right.
I still watch your videos, but I actually prefer the podcasts. I just like the long.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
The longer form videos where
you are really good at it, Bruce. Really good.
Well,
I'm sure a lot of people say
that. Very much appreciate that.
I do think that's though, and I don't know whether they'll like me saying this or not, but that is the copper coming out of him, being able to talk to people and angle questions to get people to answer, if that makes sense.
I think I was chatting about that in a recent one, actually. It might have been with Fish. I did one with Fish on Monday. It's not, that'll come out next week, but it's one of the recent ones, and that came up. And I do think, like just being a copper, I'm working the doors. I think that has helped, because you just develop your sort of interpersonal skills. When you're not smashing someone over the edge, you learn to talk to them. I'm only kidding. I didn't do that, but yeah, you definitely do learn to talk to people. And like I think just with age, isn't it? You just I don't know. I like to chat with people. It's normally to shut me up. So
I think to get away with it though, you've got to have that voice that's engaging, and not a lot of people have got that. And I think you have got. I think the Scottish accent is good anyway, but I think having that voice, I think it does engage you, because I listen to them in the car since I've now discovered how to do it. So I listen to yours in the car. And they are. And I know you get a different perspective when because I watch some and I will listen to some in the car, but I do prefer to listen to them, to be fair. But yeah, they are.
Okay, here's a question. I appreciate you guys. What's your favourite Brew Time podcast? Have anyone got a favourite or?
My one was Ollie. When you did
Ollie Moto.
Yeah, Ollie Moto.
Mm-hmm.
I like the one when you was at the Spanish one. Toro.
With Linden.
Yeah, I thought that was quite good.
Again, that's a good one because he went from like not a fat cat banker, but from a fat cat banker to go after Spain, just running a business off a win. Again, it's nice to listen to the stories that how they've got to this point now, if that makes sense. And like kind of, and some of them are like later on in life as well. It's like an early thing, you know what I mean? They're a bit like the early 40s, and then gone, I do this no more. I need to.
I think the good thing is that everybody's got a backstory. Everybody, and you don't see that when you're watching them on YouTube or whatever. You don't know what's going off in the background.
No, it's nice to know the person, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Yeah, and you feel like when somebody opens up like that, without giving too much away, it's good because it can change your perception of somebody as well.
Sorry, I'm at this stage where I do get quite a lot of companies sort of approaching me to come on the podcast to plug either the company or plug a product, and I just kind of say to people, it's not a billboard. I'm not running a billboard here. Like, what's your story? What got you into biking? What got you into setting up the company? Or what has led you to the product that you now have? That's the story that I'm interested in, and I think that's the story most people are interested in, because if you invest the time to sit and listen to a podcast to somebody talk about what brought them to starting up this company, you kind of invest into that company, and I say to people, that's the sort of advertising you want, is tell people the real you, tell people the backstory behind you, and that way they're going to be more inclined to have a look at your company or your product.
Well, it humanizes them.
Quite a few. Like, that's it. Yeah. I've got quite a few different companies coming on soon, and I've got to say to them, like, this isn't a billboard. We're not running an ad here, but I need to know about you. That's what we're going to chat about. So, I must admit though,
I really liked, again, the one with Mark from Leeds and who was the KTM rider, Sam. Again, because they kind of bounced off each other, and because obviously you're more in the clan, so that was really nice because you could see the kind of familiarity you had with each other, kind of taking the piss and having the joke and having the banter and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? And again, I really liked that. It was really kind of, I won't say poignant, but it was nice to sit there and watch rather than it's just two people on the screens. There was a little bit more invested in it because we kind of knew the backstory from the rest of you, if that makes sense.
Bruce, when you do that,
I like those ones.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. So when you do the podcast, then have you ever, obviously not naming any names, have you had anywhere you found it quite difficult, because obviously it's a two-way thing, isn't it? And have you had to try and pull things out of people, and it's been like pulling teeth, if you like?
Yeah, this one.
I have had one person on who was a lovely person, really was a lovely person, but it was hard work to do the chat, which is such a shame because they have such an incredible story behind it, and it's not just down to them. It wasn't just them that did whatever this is. I'm not gonna reveal who it is. It's not fair. No. But they did an amazing thing in the presence of some other people in a company, and it's, in my mind, it's just not been marketed well, and it could achieve so much more, but it hasn't. And it was hard to chat with them because they weren't overly forthcoming. It was quite hard to get any sort of feeling and emotion from them. And
but I do think that. Go on, mate. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Go on.
I was going to say when you were saying about like favourite brew time, I don't want to have a favourite, but one that still sticks with me is the one with Joey Evans. Like, the South African chap that basically was paralysed and then fought back from it. I mean, that he had me bawling my eyes out in the podcast, and just what an incredible story! What an incredible story! Nuts. And again, I look at it and just think, why aren't people watching that? They should, not for me, but why aren't people listening to this bloke talk? Because he could do so much for people. People that are having a bit of a tough time out there, listen to Joey talk about his story, and it can't help but motivate you. Anyway, that's what he done.
Yeah, a couple of my favourites actually is Peaky. You're right. But,
go on,
44 Teeth I thought was quite funny. They were a good laugh, and also Chase on Two Wheels I quite enjoyed as well. He's very an upbeat guy, wasn't he?
He's a real down to earth bloke. I like Chase.
Yeah, it was a good cast that.
Like
Because you could tell that both of you come out of that feeling quite positive, and it's just really good.
I think though
I'm going to try and meet up with Chase when I'm over there. Actually, he's one of the ones I'm trying to meet up with.
Yeah, he's a decent bloke. Yeah,
it's like when we all do these kind of things, or if you do them, that it always helps when the person that you interview have done something similar to what we're doing now, a live stream or something like that, so that you can you know that, like tonight, we have got there's no paperwork, there's nothing in front of me. It's just 6 blokes sat in a boozer talking, and that's all we're doing. It's scripted, it's nothing at all, but it's nice to be able to allow people just to run and let the conversation flow, rather than it being scripted, but 2, knowing that there's other people that if I don't say something, there's that Dave below me or Agus in the corner, or you're always jumping because you're one of them people.
That's what I'm like.
But do you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's nice to have that to kind of allow you. It kind of helps you because you're bouncing off other people. Then
absolutely,
I absolutely.
But one thing I did want to say was obviously when you spoke to Mark from Leeds. So he messaged me obviously after your live, and he was like, "Oh mate, you got to watch it, And I was like, "Yeah, I always watch them, like kind of thing, because it's an investment. I like to sit there, for a good couple of hours, have a beer, and kind of decompress myself after because obviously I still work within the army, so kind of decompress myself, and then." I sat there and like when you was talking, because obviously at the time you didn't realise that I'd done around the UK, the coastal road of the UK.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know you'd done it yet. I knew it was in the horizon, but I didn't realise you'd done it.
Yeah. So this is Graham, who sat above you, he was kind enough to allow me to stop at his house. So he was one of my stop-off points on my 3rd night in Glasgow before I went up. Then I did the massive fucking all around the west coast, Applecross up to John O'Groats, and that I think that day was about 803 mile. That day was.
It was from the Erskine Bridge to John O'Groats going round the coast. That was a massive day. That.
Yeah, it honestly, but it was one of them where it's like I've had a few people now, or comments off a few people saying that they're looking at doing it and this, that, and the other. I mean, I did it in 10 days. But I was up at 5 in the morning. I was on my bike for 5:30, and I was pulling up till at least 10 o'clock at night. And I was on my bike all, apart from refueling. If I refueled, I'd stop, I'd have a drink, I'd have a piss, bag of crisps or something like that, and I was off again. As soon as I filled my tank up, I was off again. But
I love that kind of ride. There's something about, I don't know why, but I really enjoy it. I know you miss out on so much, you don't see anything, but I love the sort of personal challenge in those rides. I love doing those.
There was that one you did on the 125, weren't they, as well? That was a good one.
I'd say the electric was the hardest. The electric was physically and mentally was the hardest one. Just I think because the 125 was like 3 days. The electric pushed into 4, so that extra day and a bit was really hard. Really hard.
Was that the anxiety of knowing where to obviously fuel up, if you like, power the bike?
No, because certainly halfway through, a couple of days in, you sort of realised, there's chargers everywhere. There's nothing to worry about. Like, you might have to sit and wait a while, but there's chargers everywhere. So I wasn't worried about finding a charger, but it's just being awake and on a bike for 3-4 days. I would stop and sleep whenever I was tired, but it's not like you're getting 8 hours lying in a bed. You're getting 10 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour, 2 hours if you properly zonk out. But you never really totally chill because you're lying at the side of the road or lying in a field next to your bike, whatever it is. So it's not a good sleep. You're literally just topping the battery up again and going again. Yeah.
Do you ever get like, you know, in the comments? Because I mean, you're going to get a lot of comments, things like that, a lot of views. Do you ever get any sort of negative comments regarding it's dangerous riding, doing that many hours?
Yeah, loads. And it is, which is why when I'm tired I stop. You know, like what I say to people is, I've had, Jesus Christ, 25 odd years of working shifts. You know, like I pretty much worked nights exclusively from the age of 18, and I've always worked all the time. You know, so I've always pretty much worked 7 days a week mostly. So I'm used to doing long hours, and I genuinely used to get about an hour to 3 hours sleep a day. I just never needed much sleep.
You're a grafter.
So, you know,
that's why.
It's just, I think my body just got used to not sleeping much, and I never felt like I needed the sleep. So, you know, an hour to 3 hours was fine. Now's a different kettle of fish. You know, now I've left the old bill and I'm into a normal cycle again. You know,
it's
I
like
need
fucking
5-6 hours sleep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like literally, I need a good 5-6 hours sleep, I would say, most days. But and I say to people, look, if you feel tired, just stop. I think most of us have probably been on a bike when you start to nod off. It's not a nice place to be. It's really dangerous, not just for you, for anyone else. So, like, I'm not going to take that risk. If I get to the stage where I'm starting to nod dog, it's like, right, just pull over. Even if you get 10 minutes, 20 minutes sleep, it's enough just to top up that battery. For me, it is top up that battery, and I can go again.
I mean, when I did mine around the UK, I did it for a charity that's close to my heart, which is something called Scottish Little Soldiers, which is basically allows the kids if the parents have died at war, which happened to my mate, it allows the kids to have mental health treatment instantly. The money's there. If you go through the system or the government, it takes about 18 months. So when I did it, I was talking to different people who have done it. And the reason why I did it in 10 days, because I was talking to a couple of blokes who had done it, and they was like, yeah, we had to stop after 16 days. We couldn't get round. We had to stop. We'd run out of time. And I was like, fucking 16 days. You're not laugh, eh? Yeah, fucking 16 days. So I was like, I'm looking at doing it at about 14. And they was going, nah, mate, fucking no chance from 14. So then in my head, typical squaddy, I'm going to fucking smash it. I'm going to fucking absolutely destroy it.
I'm already thinking to myself, 10 days. Right. Can I beat that?
I was saying on my live the other night, we actually said this on my live, I think it was last week or the week before. Looking back now, I reckon I could do that at a push, and it would be a really big push, but I reckon 8 days, I reckon you could do it.
Really?
But what I wanted to show though, because like during the videos, you don't really pick it up that much. It's the lives that I did overnight. So you can see my mental health, obviously, because I don't know if you know, but I've got PTSD. So I wanted to kind of show my mindset kind of dropping in and out of, because I was on my own a lot of the time. So I wanted to show not the good times, I wanted to show the bad times, to show people. You know what I mean? Yeah, we do have bad times. This, you know what I mean? This is hard, this is difficult, but you've got to get through it. There are ways around it. You know, a lot of people know why I started my channel on this, but you know, you can dig yourself out of that fucking hole that you're kind of pushing yourself into, and that was my mindset. That was it. Wasn't just for the charity; it was to show other people that, you know, as blokes, we do all get racked off, we do all get pissed off, we do, you know, we do talk ourselves down a little bit, but it's okay. Just, you know, open up to somebody. It just open up, and you know what I mean. Wake up the next day, cut your hair, have a shower, like a brand new soldier. Off you go.
Push the reset button, off you go again.
Yeah. So, but it was just good. It was just, and that's one of the reasons why I did it.
Lads, I don't know if you can hear me or see me here or anything, but I'm going to. Can you? I can't.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't. My whole screen is breaking up. I can't see you. I can barely hear you. I think I'm going to have to wrap this in for me, lads, because I can't even hear what's been said here. I'm really sorry about this fucking Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But
I'm
going to have to throw the towel in.
Starlink, Dave. Starlink.
Starlink, yeah, no, we have to get some of this new Elon Musk satellite Wi-Fi. The kids are on at me to do this, so and I've asked all the kids to turn their Wi-Fi off just so I could do this, and it's still not playing ball. So listen, I am going to throw the towel in. I'm really sorry about that.
We'll rearrange, mate. We'll rearrange.
Yeah, and I'll go and sit in a fucking public car park and do it on my phone or something. So.
Upgrade.
Sorry about that, lads.
Okay, no worries, mate. Cheers.
And happy New Year, everybody. By the way, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Take it easy, lads.
See you later.
Cheers.
All right, bud. Cheers, Dave.
Yeah. So.
Old Baron, Chris Eads. He's good for that, isn't he? Do you follow him on his Instagram? He does every morning. He does his lives because he's been very open about his mental health. He struggles. So he's doing wonders with that. That's helping a lot of people, I think. You kind of need. I mean, it's much more accepted now, isn't it? People struggle. Blokes in particular struggling with mental health. It just seems to be much more known about and accepted. You know, like. I don't know if you lads get it. I get blokes contacting me in DMs and stuff and just saying, I've been struggling, and I always say to people, if you're struggling, reach out, drop me a line. So people do, and it's great that they feel confident and comfortable enough to do that. So yeah, it's good to know that the message is getting out there, isn't it? It's just talk, just share it. If you're struggling, just share.
Yeah, it does. It does help. I had some dark times. In the past, and it does help. All this helps as well. All this camaraderie on YouTube and riding bikes, it helps massively.
Like I say, for me, what I wanted to. This is what I wanted to show other people, because, like I say, I realised that I had PTSD. I didn't realise I had that. I come out the army. There was no decompression zone. There was nothing. You just come out and you're just like. Whoa. And you're just fucking mad. And you don't realise why you're mad. And you don't. There's no explaining. They've trained you to go to war, and they've come back, and then they think you're going to slot in society really nicely, and it don't happen. Do you know what I mean? It's probably similar to probably what Bruce experienced, but it's hard trying to be a normal fucking person, if that makes sense. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It genuinely is, man. Yeah, I went through something similar. Just coming out of the old bill. It sounds ridiculous, but you do, because like normal life isn't like that. Normal life isn't like your day to day in the old bill or any of the emergency services. And it takes a bit of getting used to, for sure.
Yeah, but like I say, it's, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to show the down points, as well as the days where I'm laughing and joking and looking at the fucking views and this, that, and the other, and then you get off the bike at 10 o'clock and you're ball bagged, you know what I mean? And you're just like, fucking, I'm just knackered. I'm just absolutely knackered.
Mm-hmm. But, it's like Bogan, isn't it? I mean, he does the same. He just puts it all out there, doesn't he? He'll have his good days and his bad days, and he just lets it out. Yeah,
but that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to show. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I say, there are many funds and people out there that kind of show the opposite side of themselves. All like a lot of these channels just show, hey, how you doing? This is all fancy dancy. Do you know what I mean? And it's just sometimes it's A-grade. It's it's difficult. But
I'll be honest, lads. I've been so lucky. I mean, I had some tough times when I was younger, but I was given the tools to deal with it, and now I'm the total opposite. And I don't really struggle, and I feel so lucky for that, because I feel sorry for people that do. But I'm not saying I haven't had my fair share of tough times, because I have. But if you've got the tools to deal with it when you're younger, then when you're older, it's so much easier. And everything, most mental health does go back to childhood, generally speaking. They say, don't they?
Yeah.
But
But
I'm the opposite. I love life, like we all do. I just love everything about it. Even though I'm having a bit of a rough time at the moment, just with stuff that doesn't really matter, work and things like that. It's yeah, loving it. Love the YouTube thing. Love meeting all you lot. You know, the power of now and all that. Right now, I'm speaking to you guys. Absolutely fantastic.
It's, do you know? I said this to Peaky on one of my vlogs, where when you meet somebody who you watch on YouTube, it's like you know them straight away because you know that person from watching them. What is different? It was easy for me and him because he watches me, I watch him, so it was just like we'd known each other for years. But when, say, like you, Bruce, now obviously I'm talking to you now, I feel like I know you, but you wouldn't feel like you knew me. So if I was to see you, I mean, I'm just the same anyway. I am what I am. But if I was just to see you in the street and I had a chat to you, I'd be talking to you like I know you, and you'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" You know, you must get that like, a lot.
Oh yeah, I do. But I kind of, you know, I'll chat away to people. I think because I've been doing this a while now, and I get that quite a bit. People coming up and chatting to me. I'm just used to just opening up and just like, this is me. There's no persona. I'm just me. So I'll chat away to you, whether it's the first time I've met you or it's the 20th time I've met you. I'm more likely to call you a cunt if I've met you 20 times before. But you know what I mean? It's like with me, what it is that people come up and they just start chatting away, and I haven't got a clue who some people are. Do you know what I mean? But because they watch you on YouTube, they feel like they know you, so they're just chatting away. And it's like, we can be 20 minutes into a conversation, I'll be like, I'm really sorry, but what's your name? You know,
who are you? Yeah.
And they introduce themselves, and you're just like, all right, how are you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Oh yeah, my name's Dave. All right, hiya Dave, how you doing? And then in the conversation, they'll be like, yeah, I'm Minnesota Viking or something, and you're like, oh right, yeah. Christ, I've been chatting to you for years in the DMs. How are you? You know, I always say to people, when you come up, just introduce yourself.
Or I'm the one that sent you a comment 3 years ago on this video.
Yeah.
You expect to remember.
Yeah. But I love that people do come up and chat. You know, I love that. It's great. Even my missus, when we're out and stuff, and people come up and, "Are you Teapot One?" and they start chatting away. It's nice. It is nice.
Yeah.
They ask him if he's Teapot One, and he's the biggest bloke fucking in the area. He's massive. He's like the BFG. Do you know what I mean?
You're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be. Yeah.
I'll get that. I'll get that as well.
No, you don't.
Yeah, Rev.
Evening, boys. Don't take the piss, all right?
You know, you
got more than most of us, so we don't worry about it.
How you doing, Bruce? Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, Andrew, how are you doing?
That's the fashion, eh?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm enjoying being in the side chat. I was quite happy sat in the side chat, and then obviously Dave dropped out. I'll jump in.
Sound.
Nice one.
But, yeah, but like I say, it's just nice to. I've really kind of, since setting up my channel, if you can hear the dog snoring, you probably can hear the dog snoring.
You can, yeah.
Yes. He's part of my live stream. He's, honestly, this fat bulldog of mine, he's helped me out so much on my mental health. He's brilliant. I love him to death. And I would never tell him to shut up because he's part of the live stream now. but yeah, it's helped me out so much of meeting people and like you say, just getting out and just the community of, you know, you can sit on Facebook and go on Facebook or, you know, all different, like Instagram or whatever, and you can see people, oh, I'm going here today, I'm going there today, and you could just message them like I did with a kid called Chris. He was like, oh, I'm going to the Superbike factory today, and I was like, no one's going out, so I just messaged him, any chance I can meet up with you? Yeah, sound. And I met up with him and 6 of his mates just sat there, had breakfast, went for a fucking little tootle, come back, did a video, chucked it out there, and then he messaged me on my channel. I don't realise this was you, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, I don't realise it was you. Do you know what I mean? But
it's a real life changer. The whole YouTube thing it just changes everything, doesn't it, for the better? There's not many downsides, really. It's creative. You meet new people.
The trolls can be a pain in the arse.
James is lovely.
Yeah, James. Yeah.
It does wind me up. It shouldn't, because it's the old sticks and stones and all that shit. But it does get to me sometimes. I just think there's not a chance in hell you'd speak to me like that face to face, and yet people just think they can say what they like just because it's a little comment.
Yeah. I don't give him a chance.
I'm going to find you. I've got some special skills. I'll find you.
Yeah, phone up your mates. Yeah. But I don't take any shit now. I don't bother engaging, because if you engage and it just goes on and on with dickhead comments. If it's an utter dickhead one, like I was saying the other week to Peaky, that I had somebody say to me that I need to get more of an American accent so they could understand me, and I just boot them. I just can't be bothered with it. They're in my happy space. If you don't want to know about it, then off.
Do you know what I find? Do you know what I find though? I find if you turn it into a positive. So if they try and pull you down, but you just turn it into a positive, like I've had, you need to get a scooter, stuff like that because you can't ride that bike or whatever, and I'll just like, oh, thanks for that. I'll start looking on eBay now, and you just try and turn it round on them.
Sell your Lex Moto, yeah.
Yeah, but then they don't know where to go with that. You see, because when you start giving the negativity back, I think that just feeds more negativity.
It does.
Unless it's a direct hit. I mean, if you get a direct hit about, I don't know, something that's personal to you, like about your family or something like that, then fair enough. Obviously, you're not going to hold back from that. But I think generally, you can spin it around.
My family, but
we've had it 3 weeks on the trot with
this
guy that keeps coming in calling himself James, and obviously we had him in. What was it last week? We had him in as he put himself up as Roland Keith, and Rowley's one of our Australian guys. But it came, if you want to go back and watch my live stream, 9 minutes 40, and he was knocking one out, and Peaky was admin on that, and 6 seconds, and he shut him off. That's the biggest view I've had in absolutely ages. Everybody's diving in for 9 minutes 40 seconds.
Apart from when he was playing with his nipple as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I always engage. Every negative is always a positive. That's what you've got to see. It bumps the subscribers up. Quick comment, because obviously Blake's is like, oh, how many wives have you had? 4. I'm on number 4. We've been married 20 years this April now. But I went to the bike show 2 years ago, and I took a photo with Bruce. And I was, oh God, I'm going to do a live look. And I did a quick video message. I went, I'm here with Bruce. And she went, who's that in the background? I went, oh, it's Richie. Oh, it's Richie. And she watched every song that he did during lockdown. And I went, Richie. And he went, oh, hello, Mel. And he recognised her. And I was like, Jesus Christ, of the amazing amount of subscribers that Richie has. And he still spotted one of his subscribers.
It's because she's paying £100 a month into his fucking OnlyFans. That's why. He knows on first name terms.
That's the only reason I'm doing Wild Bad this year. A video.
You got to ask him for a discount.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose a comment on YouTube is a comment at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's a view and a comment.
Positive,
They're helping the cause, aren't they?
There's more good than bad, and it says more about them than you, doesn't it? If you get a bad one, that's the way to look at it.
Yeah. Still winds me up.
Yeah, I get it, mate. Yeah, I even I get wound up sometimes, but yeah.
But it's always that one comment that you look at, in it.
Oh
you might have 40 nice comments, but the one that's a little shitter, you're like.
It's like you can't tile that wall properly. You get your tiles in a straight line,
especially the ones that don't.
Dave.
Yeah, especially the ones that don't do YouTube as well, because they don't know what goes into it. Even us small channels, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of time editing. I mean, 4-8 hours editing? Probably, Bruce, you're probably doing that a day with the amount of content that you're doing. But
I must edit. I must edit totally different to everybody else, because the amount of people that go, oh God, yes, full day today editing a vid, and then they put out vid, and the vids are good, but I mean, I'm a minimum of 3, maybe 4 days, full days for a video, and I don't know what I'm doing different. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what it is, but it takes me days to edit a vid.
You see, I've completely changed. I watched Motorrev. I live quite close to Craig, so me and him text. But I watched his the D-Day landings tour. I must have watched that series about 3 times, and the way he's edited and transitions, right? And I said to him, I had him on the live a couple of weeks ago, and I said to him, I says, can you explain how you edit? Because that series of films is phenomenal how you've done it. Do you know what I mean? I said, so I'm trying to up my like we all am. I'm trying to up my skills, but make my channel slightly different than everybody else's. Do you know what I mean? You know, we've all got a front-facing camera, we've all got a back-facing camera, we've all moved our cameras away, but you need different stuff coming in. Do you know what I mean? You know, you need different transitions or fucking all the rest of it.
It's always a learning process. It changes all the time. You never get to the point where you think that's it.
But like you say, all as it was, like that kind of watching that the other week kind of really triggered me into wanting to learn more into how to edit differently, and like I say, not the same as everybody else. So, you know, is there anything? Is there other channels you look at and kind of you like, I don't mind being like that, or I like the way he's done that, or not aspire to be like, but you kind of look towards and take inspiration from their channel?
I think you can take a bit from every video, whoever it is. I think you can learn from everybody, really, no matter how long they've been doing it. There's always little nuggets in there. Bruce does a great job. He's obviously knows what he's doing. You got your lad doing it as well. He's a professional anyway, isn't he? Or I know he's changed jobs now. Or I don't know what the score is, but he, you know, again, you can learn a lot from him. So yeah, you can learn something from everybody, I think.
I mean, I kind of. Sorry, go on.
So, Bruce, what software do you use for editing?
Me, Final Cut.
Yeah, Final Cut. And how do you find that?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's great. I've started to do some work with my son now. My son's a professional editor, so he's self-employed. So, you know, I've reached out to him to see if he'd give me a hand trying to work through a backlog, because all my content at the moment is from last year. In fact, I've got content going back to 2021 that hasn't been edited yet. So, you know, I'm hoping that he's going to help. He's done 2 for me now. He's done the Luxembourg series, and he just did the Welsh one. Part 1 was live last week. So he's done those 2 for me. And he's just edited the last of the Jigsaw rebuild vids, and he's done a cracking job on that. So he uses Premiere Pro. So, like, it would be beneficial.
I was going to say, does he use Premiere?
Yeah, so it'll be beneficial for either me to learn Premiere or for him to learn Final Cut, ideally, in an ideal world. I haven't got the time to learn another bit of software, to be honest. I've just started using this AI thing for my podcast reels. You know, the little sort of shorts and the reels.
Yeah,
I do them for each of my podcasts. And normally I do that by hand, you know, like when I sit and edit the podcast in full, I sort of just sit and go through it all, and I cut out chunks. What I think will be good content for a short, I just cut them out. So I end up with, you know, a whole load of separate little projects, which are the shorts for that podcast episode. But it takes, you know, not even hours, days to go through that, because if you've got a 3-hour podcast, by the time you've gone through that and done all your sound, you know, your Jesus Christ, what do you call it? You know, when you edit all the sound, yeah. When you're doing all that,
normalization.
It ends up being, you know, 5-6 hours easy. So, and then you've got all the little shorts as well, and you have to do all the captions for all the shorts and all that sort of stuff. So it ends up being a couple of days. Well, this bit of AI I use is called Opus Clips. So I started just trying that to see what that's like. And with that, you just put the link, the URL for your vid in, and then AI takes 15-20 minutes to analyze your vid, and it decides what content is going to be, you know, what is likely to go viral, what's going to have good engagement, all this sort of stuff. So I'm just trialing it at the moment to see. Yeah, so the last 2 weeks, the shorts, you might, if you do watch them, you've maybe noticed they're a little bit different to the way I normally do it. And that's because it's just all AI. It's not faultless. You still have to go in and tweak stuff. But certainly saves a bit of time.
I was talking to Mark though the other week about your vids, because I was like, I've watched a couple. I wasn't, because we was on about like basically I'm going to do a ride, give him my footage.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give me his footage. We're going to edit each other's footage, put it on each other's channel as our own, and then basically see if anybody can notice that. Because I said to him, I said, Bruce's editing's like, some of these videos look, the editing style seems completely different. And that's when he was like, his son's doing it now. And I was like, right. And he was like, how did you notice? I said, I don't know. I was just like, it just seemed a bit like a different style of editing. And I was just like, you know what I mean? It's like I say,
my son doesn't do the jump cut as much as I do. He holds a shot a lot longer, or he'll. I do it a little bit sometimes, where maybe the audio doesn't necessarily correlate to the visuals that you're getting, the video.
Yeah.
You know, you can overlap some video sometimes, and my son does that quite a bit. So when I saw the Luxembourg series that he did, when I first watched it, it wasn't dynamic enough for me, because he was holding the shot a lot longer than I do. So we're both trying to come to a bit of a happy. I was going to say
that must be quite difficult. Difficult when you're creative anyway, and you do it yourself. And my brother's
I'm a total control freak. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying, my brother's a filmographer as well, and he's done a lot of commercial stuff over the years. He uses Premiere Pro. He's never come in and edited one of my videos because I know that it will probably make him look a lot better. So I'd rather, but the things that I've picked up from him, those little nuggets along the way, have helped me progress so much quicker than without his input over the years. Right. And it's really good having somebody that has been trained to do filmography, isn't it? I found.
Yeah. And I think when you've got someone outside editing your content, they're not emotionally connected to it. Like for me, I when I look at footage, I remember everything about that day, that ride, whatever happened, and I know, that led to this bit, or there's a good corner coming up, or then we stopped here and we had a great crack. I remember all that, so I'm going to sit and I'm just going to go through everything and listen, and I'll maybe not chop that bit of footage because I think something happens later on the day that might tie in with that. Yeah. Whereas my son just comes to it from the outside and he purely goes along with it, and he watches all the footage, skim watches it. Okay, get the story in my head, right, bang. So he's got a story in his head already and he just goes to it, and he can be much more cutthroat with it and just go, right, cut that.
That's probably a good thing then, isn't it? For the video and the viewer.
It makes the whole, I think that's probably why it takes so long to edit, is that I sort of go through the whole timeline chronologically. I start at the start with footage and put it all the way to the very end, and I sync up all the cameras and all the audio. So everything is there from the start to the end. It might be like 7-8 hours of footage in the end. And then I'll go through it and I'll start chopping my way through it. But, I'll do 15, 20 of them before I've got it down to, that 8 hours, I might get down to 15, 20, 25 minutes or something. But that's taking a lot of passes, which is totally the wrong way to do it. You should.
By the time you get to the end of it, mate, you've had enough, haven't you?
Yeah.
Get it going.
Yeah. And a lot of the time when you finish, you think, this is finished now. It's done. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You post it up, you have a break, and then if you watch it again at another point, I'll end up watching it and going, that's dog shit. Why didn't I chop that out? Why didn't I chop that out?
Yeah.
But
one thing that my brother taught me, which is a good nugget for anyone, videos or YouTube, is I miss that. Anyway, is kill your babies, kill the baby. Just because you like it doesn't mean that they will. So
100%.
Just keep cutting it down, and it's better to cut out more than to keep it in. Quite often. Kill your babies.
It is hard to do that.
Yeah, don't you find though that the ones that you think are crap probably do better?
Yeah.
And then the ones that you put a lot of effort into and you put it out and you think this is going to get loads of views. Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah. But I like when if you get somebody who's an actual editor, someone that knows what they're doing, and if they comment and go, I know what you've done there, I know how much work that was, then that for me is just like a big pat on the back. You're like, but Joe Blogs will look at it and not see any difference. They won't.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It is frustrating though sometimes, like you say, when you bang a video out or you do it really quickly, and because you're like, right, I need to get this out. Something's happened. I need to get this out, and you bang it out. And I find it with my shorts more than anything. So I'll do a little 15 seconds, and then look back the day later, and it's got 1,000 views. You're like, I don't know. I'm just sat in an army wagon, and I'm saying, oh, this is what vehicle I'm in today. It's just something fucking daft. You know what I mean? It's got thousands of viewers, and you just kind of like.
It's like what was it? Your one that you did with all the biker signs with the head tap and the shake the leg, and the amount of people that commented that you got a pair of Crocs on.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You can't be a pair of Crocs.
I'm one of those people. I want a pair of Crocs, but I just couldn't wear them. I just can't do it.
Because you're so used to wearing high heels, that's what it is.
That's right, yeah.
Right then, lads. We've been on an hour and 35 minutes. I usually try and do an hour, but because we've got a special guest on, myself, I thought we'd go for me.
Oh, didn't land that one, did it?
No. Switch on trigger. So yeah, but to all my guests, Jay, Rev Bomb, Dave, really good TV, who needs to sort his internet out. The money he's on, he should be flying. You know what I mean?
I'll go give him a sub and a membership.
yeah, and obviously. Bruce, really appreciate you taking the time and the effort, mate, to come on this. And genuinely,
thanks for having me.
Genuinely, is Bruce doing ABR? Not ABR. Wildbad this year?
No, I am. I think I'm either on tour or I'm just back. But yeah, I can't do it, sadly.
Oh well.
Yeah. Sorry.
So thanks to Bruce, mate. I really appreciate it. And if you ever get a spare Wednesday night and your missus out there and you want to jump on, or you're on trip or you're on tour and you're bored and you want to jump on, send me a message, man. I'll send you a link. You're more than welcome anytime you jump on, anytime you want, mate. All right.
Thanks very much, pal.
Aggis Whisperer, Graham, thank you, mate. Really appreciate it, mate. Really thank you.
Oh, and disappeared there. What's going on there?
Where's it gone? That's more concerning. Where's it gone?
Right into that castle.
It's the invisible man.
Yeah. So and Stevie, the extra rider, again, mate, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem.
It's been great. Thank you.
Yeah,
nice to see you guys as well.
Enjoyed it. Yep.
Likewise. You lads. Pleasure to chat with you.
It's been absolutely brilliant. So my outro, if you can all stay safe, keep your family safe, and all do me one thing, please, which is smile. Thank you very much, muckers. Until the next time, that's the Peaky Boy Create. I'll see you all soon.